Ever since I was a small child, I have loved everything to do with Japan. Pokemon, the food, the culture. Now if you look at my house, it's filled with all things cute that Japan has to offer. It's truly my sanctuary. I started traveling to Japan last year to see the real deal, and I hope to live there one day. But until then, there's just one thing missing for me. I need to know the language. So come along with me and check out my study methods so maybe you can use them and to make them your own study methods.
So the first thing that I think is a little strange and I've never seen anybody else do, I actually own a bunch of children's storybooks because my thought process was if I go to a bookstore in Japan, get a bunch of baby books, then if I can understand the baby books, that means that we're on like a good level and I have the level of speaking of at least a child that could read these books. Now you're probably wondering like, what do you do if you don't understand a word? I don't understand what these mean together. So I know Pikachu to Tamadachi. So he's doing something with his friends. I'll show you exactly what I do when I find a word that I don't understand. I use the app called Hello Talk a lot, which I'll get into later. 70% of my studying goes on that app. I will go onto the app and I will just say what it says and then I'll translate it and then I'll double check with somebody on the app. So Hello Talk is pretty much like a social media app for speaking to native Japanese people. But right now it's telling me that it means Pikachu and one friend. Something tells me that that's wrong, so I will double check with somebody on the app to make sure that I got it right. So now I will go through each of the pages and I'll write down the words I know and I'll write down the words that I don't know. I will try to figure them out word by word, sentence by sentence, and just slowly dig it into my brain, these specific words.
小さな
小さな船で I will go through all the pages, I will review it every day. Eventually sticks in my brain. Now that I'm done showing you about the children's books, which I think personally is an amazing thing I've found, let's move on to another way that I study Japanese. So I do have an uglier book that I have been keeping for about a month, but I want to start a new one and make it really pretty. I've already written this one, but it's actually really great. These books are on a square grid, so it's really easy to write down the things. Each kanji could be one square. I'm gonna start a daily journal. So first I write it on Hello Talk so then I can have people come and tell me what I've done wrong. So I'll show you what my entry was last night. This is what it looked like, and then down here there is somebody correcting me. Here's the mistakes I made. Now that I've written the sentence down, kind of made sense of it in my brain. It makes a lot of sense. So, 今朝は朝食に peanut butter と jelly を食べました。So, 食べました means to eat. Peanut butter と jelly means peanut butter and jelly. 今朝は食酒 this morning for breakfast. No, this makes a lot of sense to me. Pretty much go throughout my day, write down all the sentences like that. Now I'm going to practice talking with some of my friends. It is like 2 a.m. for a lot of them, but I do also have a bunch of Japanese study partners here in Toronto. Hiro this morning says, nanu bato kyou wa YouTube 動画してきます. I got it right this time, so I'll tell him that I'm making a YouTube video. New sentences I will write down, so I'm gonna write down Kanada wa suzushi desu in my journal and I can look back at it tomorrow. This is what I wrote. I said kyou wa suzushi desu, and now I know how to say it for tomorrow. I actually once had a Japanese flight attendant tell me that my handwriting is good, and I think that she was lying to make me feel better. Now today I'm going to do something that I've been wanting to do for many months, and I'm going to go around my house and start adding little post-it notes of the kanji and the word onto that corresponding object, so then that way I can see it every day and remember it much easier. これは冷蔵庫です。これは窓です。これはお米です。So go pretty much rinse and repeat that process over and over and over again. There are many other things that I do to just like immerse myself even more. I tend to put on Japanese podcasts in the background so that I can get a feel for like the accent and the pronunciation. I also listen to Japanese songs. I have a whole Japanese playlist that when I'm walking around, I listen to it and I pick out the words that I know and I'm like, wow, I know those words. Those are so cool. And one day I will know all of the words. Yes, recently I have been practicing for about 2 hours a day, which is not nearly enough to become like even close to fluent by the next time that I go, which will be in 2 months. But I do want to be able to like go and hold like a basic conversation while I'm there without, you know, embarrassing myself. We do have a lot of places here in Toronto where I could practice, and they have, you know, just all Japanese staff, but I don't know. I feel a little bit nervous asking to practice with people I don't know, especially when they've tried so hard to learn English and then move over here, so I don't know. I feel like a lot of them would not mind practicing with me. It's just, I don't know. That's kind of like a fuck you if you like spend a bunch of years learning English and then you move to Canada and then there's people still speaking Japanese to you. So I don't know. Maybe it would be refreshing, but I don't know. And I should ask some actual Japanese people to be like, is that okay if I do that or not? So maybe I'll do that. I don't know.
I also wanted to tell you guys about an app that I use called LingQ. It's just like a Japanese reading app, and you can press on the articles and choose which ones you want to read, and you can mark off the words that you know. I think it's really neat.
It doesn't really count as an app, but I also changed my Alexa to speak Japanese, so let's go talk to her. Alexa, o genki desu ka?
ラララー。思わず歌い出したくなるほど元気です。今日もぜひ私の歌をリクエストして聴いてもらえたら嬉しいです。
Alexa, yamete. I changed most of the languages in my apps for games that, you know, come in Japanese. I will change to Japanese. So I play Pokemon Sleep every night, and so I have changed the language to Japanese, which I've learned how to say cancel from it because I press the cancel button a lot. Thank you so much for checking out my content on YouTube. I've been making a lot of it recently. Subscribe, there's more coming. Thank you so much for supporting me. You guys are amazing. Please make sure to check out my other social media links in the bio, and I will see you later. Sayonara!